Eric Holmes back in November 2022. All I'm asking that is the law do their job while I try to survive. Eric Holmes, saying his name till the day I die. We won't stop.
Good evening, kings and queens. It is our pleasure to host you this evening. I'm sorry. I'm your host, Kelvian Holmes. I am the mother of Eric Holmes, murdered by ex-Clayton cop Justin Stevens. I'm joined tonight by my co-host, Meg Keller.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
All right, and tonight we're going to be joined by Mr. Selwyn. Mr. Selwyn is George Floyd's uncle. All of you guys are aware of George Floyd and what happened with George Floyd. So we have his uncle here tonight joining us. How are you, Mr. Selwyn?
I'm always ready to rock, ready to be an inspiration, ready to get some good knowledge out, man. How are you doing, Miss V?
I'm doing fine, Mr. Selwyn. Glad to have you on tonight and super excited that you decided to come on with us. So thanks so much.
Hey, it was never an option. You know what I'm saying? Meg told me to come on the show. So, you told me I'm coming on the show. So here I am, bright eyed and bushy tail.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Sowen. Thank you for joining us. And Meg, I'm gonna let you start off. So whatever you have for us, if you can go ahead and get started with it.
Yes. So thank you so much, Uncle Sowen, for joining us this evening.
And Meg, I'm gonna let you start off.
You had told us that no question was off limits. And so I just was wondering, like, other than what was your first steps after George Floyd's situation happened, as far as like when did you decide that you were gonna, take this step to join the movement?
Uh, while I was watching this video, I sat. Remember now, he died on the 25th. On the 26th, nobody found out. And I
Mm-hmm.
was randomly watching television like I do every day. And I seen this soul brother getting just totally tortured and dominated and just basically murdered in front of my eyes. And I'm thinking, daggone, man, why don't somebody help this brother? Little did I know that was my big sister's baby boy. My other sister called me and she said, "Did you see what they did?" And I just sat back. I sat back and I literally watched from probably the 2 minute time. And I just took my breath away to literally see my nephew go from laughing, talking, begging, crying, and dying right before my eyes, right before the world's eyes. And as of that viewing of his murder, I decided at that point, that second, that time, that I would try to change the narrative on my watch because I didn't want to go through that pain. And since then, Miss V has gone through that pain. Tyrese Nichols has gone through that pain. Over 25, probably close to 3,000 people have felt the same pain that we felt on that particular day. And nobody should feel that pain. And I sure hope that I am soothing some of that pain from some people or making a difference to a point where that pain stops eventually. Because in order for you to make change, you have to plant seeds. And we all have planted seeds. Now we're going to watch them grow and we're going to make them grow and we're going to continue to see them grow.
Right. That's definitely our hope is to change the narrative because as the media paints such a picture that, it's automatically the person that it happened to is the bad guy.
His
And, the
granddaddy, his granddaddy stole a pig, or his granddaddy got a speeding ticket in 1922, and that's the reason why somebody viciously, maliciously took their time to kill him. It's always somebody else's fault, other than that police officer had a bad day and he wanted to take it out on somebody, and that somebody just happened to be one of our family members.
right.
That
Wow.
is
And oh, go ahead, Mama.
I was just gonna say that's so correct, and I'm happy when Meg got in contact with you, or you got in contact with Meg, and she said I spoke to George Floyd's uncle. I was super excited because it's hard to find anyone willing to speak in this movement. And Mr. Sowen, you've been out here way before us, so I'm sure you know that. Like, it's hard to find anyone to stand up. So I thank you so much for standing up, and I appreciate you more than I could ever say. If I have a question for you, what changes do you see? Like, have you seen any changes since George Floyd in this
Not enough.
movement?
Not enough. Not enough. There needs to be mental health issues. There need to be mental health evaluation. There need to be different certifications on police officers. There need to be guard. They need to be guards in certain situations with nurses, because reality is, whenever people see police officers, they get anxious. The anxiety kicks in. When a black man sees a police officer, he's basically terrified, knowing how many other people that look like him have been put in those bad situations. So, Miss V, to answer your questions, and I'll ask you the same question, my dear. Will you ever see enough change?
I don't. My change, yeah, I don't think I could see enough, to tell you the truth, Mr.
There
So,
will
and I don't think I could see enough. I won't.
there will never be enough change, dear, until people in general stop getting murdered by the color of their skin, their sexual orientation, their religion, their beliefs. We will never see enough. We will
Thank
never see enough.
Thank you. And I learn from people like you. So, like I said, I don't come in here knowing anything or knowing much. All I know is that I'm a parent and I won't stop fighting. I actually look up to people like you to learn from you, because you've been in this movement before us. You had a reason for being in this movement. Everyone is aware of your nephew. The whole world know about your nephew. So I actually look to you guys to hope for change. I can say since I've started, um I've, just and sometimes the change don't come in the world, the change come in you. I
Yep.
tell people a lot, you are the change. What are you doing in order to create the change? And just like you, Mr. So, and I look at a lot of things you do from your pages and stuff. So even if you don't see the change, I just want to tell you today, you are the change. And
Right.
I thank you for that, because I'm able to see a change just in the things that you're doing. Because guess what? Some people weren't doing what you're doing. So seeing what you're doing, that's a change, Mr. Solon. And we thank you so much for that. I don't know what I can consider change. If I wanted some change, it would say, hey, stop killing us if we're not trying to kill you. And I know that's not gonna happen. So that's the change I want. Stop killing us if we're not trying to kill you.
I want the same respect for my life, for my son's life, for my uncle, for my nieces, my nephews, my brothers, my sisters, your life, Meg's life, Leslie's life. I want to be treated like every other human being in this world. I want to be treated like the other people get treated, not killed, not shot, not scared of getting stopped by police. That's the reason why, girls, we fight and battle for our medical civil rights bill that pretty much states that when you come in contact with any kind of authority figure, as long as he's a peace officer, that he has a allotted time to restrain you and give you medical attention. My nephew would be here today. Tyrese Nichols would be here today. Eric Gardner would be here today. There would be thousands of people that would be home for Christmas dinner. Because Miss V, let me tell you, I am an uncle, and I am George Floyd is one of my favorite people. From day one, from a baby, and with our kinship and our love of sports, and our his mother was just like my mama, old grandmama. You know what I'm saying? So we had a lot of things in common, a lot of love. But one thing that I won't never have, dear, is I won't never have what you have going through your heart, because what's so magnificent and what's so beautiful that I see people like you do is you are fighting for something that you can't have, but you're fighting for something to prevent something from happening to others that happen to you. Now, you're my hero, dear. You're my hero because you fight every day, and I've known thousands of y'all beautiful human beings that fight for something you will never get back. That is your baby at Christmas dinner, at graduations, at walking them down the aisle. You will never get that back. So you make me want to go when I see you torn up from head to toe, something that came from you, by you, that you'll never get to see or hug because somebody decided that they would be judge, jury, and executioner. So I fight for you because you're my hero.
Thank you, Mr. Selwyn. And I tell people, I'm grateful. That I had 19 years with my son. I see some people lose babies through life. Just through life, because we know one thing about life: you live long enough. It's guaranteed to you, and to some, you don't even have to live long enough to get what's due guaranteed to you. But I fight for everyone else too, because it's my son is gone. I can't get him back. um, he was a lot like me. Do I want him back? Yes, I want him back.
Yeah.
But the truth is, as long as this world is going through what it's going through, thank God my baby got his wings in the way that he did before life could have destroyed him. So my fight is like for everyone else. My fight is when I began to see what was really going on. I thought I was coming in here fighting for my son, and I didn't realize, like, well, my son is gone. I won't get him back, but I'm truly out here fighting. It's like if I can almost say, hey, y'all, I'm fighting for y'all. Eric is gone. We won't get him back. But if enough people don't stand up and fight for those of us that are here, because we can't get those back that are gone. But what we can do is stand for the ones that are here. And that's what I'm fighting for. Like, for everyone that is here. And I'm just fighting for everyone that is here through my baby name. Like, I just
Mom,
want
with every battle, we got to have warriors to win that battle. And the battle that we fight, because of the color of our skin, because of where we come from, because of where we've lived, we've been fighting our whole existence. And it's basically a shame for one group of people to have to fight for existing, but we have persevered, and we're not going to continue. We're not going to stop fighting. We're we're always going to fight. But what we're dealing with now, everybody has to join this fight because the blue is not racist. A bullet is not racist, and there's just as many of one that's been taken away than the other by people that are supposed to serve and protect. And don't get me wrong, all police are, we have some wonderful police officers, but that 1% that is bad sure makes it bad for the other ones that are trying to do a good job.
yes. Thank you, Mr. Sowen. I mean, you explain it so perfect. And like I said, you've been here, so you know it. And you explain it so perfect. Not saying that all officers are bad. We
No,
need officers. If anything happened right now, we have to call the officers. What we are saying, for the percentage that is bad, is making it bad for everyone else. And we need everyone else to stand up. George Floyd uncle is standing here saying, hey, I'm in this fight. I'm trying to fight for everyone. Eric Holmes' mother is standing here saying, I'm trying to fight. Leslie,
we're not
man,
trying. We're not trying to fight.
we're fighting. Yeah, we're doing it.
We're fighting.
We're fighting.
I get about 3 or 4 hours of sleep every night for the last 3 years, and whenever I hear a story like yours, I lose sleep because I feel like, damn it, excuse me, I'm sorry,
No, get it.
daggone man, I didn't do something right to save her baby, or I didn't do something right to save his baby. So I'm in a hurry, man. I'm in a hurry. I'm in a hurry to make a change. I'm in a hurry to make a difference. I'm in a hurry to save black men's life. I'm in a hurry to save Caucasian people's lives. I'm in a hurry to save all lives because the day that you leave your house and there's a 50-50 chance, if you run into somebody that's supposed to serve and protect you, and they're having a bad day. They're mad at their wife. They're mad at their kids. They're mad because they didn't make enough money. They're mad because they had a flat tire. They're mad because they had to work. And they take the time to take your child's life, your brother's life, your sister's life, your husband's life. It's all a
Yeah.
bad situation that shouldn't occur any way, shape, or form. Neither should lynching. Neither should uh, uh, racial profiling. Neither should uh, bothering people or bullying. Neither should any of these things happen. Man, we live in a place that we only got about 75, 85 years. Be honest. And why can't we make a better place for when we came in and before we leave? Because nobody's perfect. Everybody's done something they can stick their head in the sand. But what the thing about life, it's not how you go into the storm, it's how you come out on the other end. And all you have to do is do something right one time, and it changes the scope of your life, better or worse. And all we're trying to do is make the world a better place by using our voice, by using our pain. Because reality is, will I ever not miss my nephew? No. Will you ever not miss your son? No. Will you ever forget about your son? No. Will I ever forget about my nephew? No. Will I ever forget about Tyrese Nichols? No. Will I ever forget about Eric Gardner? No. I will never forget about anybody that has perished because of unnatural death, because of somebody decided that that was their day to take them away from this earth. And all it took was a squeeze of a trigger, a continuous beating with a billy club, with a nightstick, or putting your knee on the neck. It it gets to the point where you sit back and you go, wow, what did he do? What did we do? Why would someone have that kind of hatred that would end somebody's life because they have the authority to do it? Why would somebody take their time, point a gun at your son, and pull the trigger on a harmless individual? Why would somebody take the time to wait at 8:26 and 15 seconds to put their knee on my nephew's neck and roll it back and forth like he was having a good time, like he was playing a game? He had a big, I mean, he had this big, strong black man that was subservient to him, and he was going to show him with power and control how he was going to dominate him. Why is that? Why is that? So, mental health issues are brutal in this world. They're brutal in the black race. They're brutal in the Caucasian race. They're brutal in the Hispanic race. They're brutal in all races. So how do we fix that? Counseling. And this one right here is you're gonna laugh about this one. Love fixes a lot of things in this world. Showing
Yeah.
people that people care. Because a lot of times all people need is to know that you care or somebody cares. But there's not enough empathy in this world, dear. And maybe their mama didn't love them or something. Maybe they got bullied or something. That's the reason why they want to take indecent liberties with somebody to take their life. I don't know. But all I know is this: until it stops, I got a job. I'm here because somebody got murdered. I'm going to continue to be here because people are going to continue to get murdered. There's more people that have died after George than before George. Imagine that with all the hoopla and the uproar that my nephew created all over the world. People have sped up. Mass shootings have sped up. Police killings have sped up. Black on black crime has sped up. Black on white crime has sped up. White on black crime has sped up. So, how do we Stop all of these things. Hey, guns don't kill people. People kill people.
Yes.
So, girls, this is what I do 24/7, 365. I go through all these plethora of complications in the world, and they run through my brain, and I think, wow, I sure picked the heck of an occupation. You know that, girl?
Well, we needed you, like, because if it's not for people to speak, if no one stands up, if you don't pick this occupation that you're only sleeping for 3 or 4 hours, or that I just went from being at the Mexican restaurant saying, hey, I'm going to have me a drink today because I just think I deserve it. But once I get finished with this drink, I need to be able to get myself together to get back to this podcast to tell the world that, hey, I'm tired of you dying. If me and George Floyd uncle, if I'm glad I'm able to meet with him. If I have to sit here and allow him to tell you himself, this is George Floyd uncles, you guys, listen, because most of the time we know the truth is they don't hear it until it comes from someone that has already been told from.
If
So
most people would not be affected by this because it wasn't their family member. I've been a strong black man my whole life. I cried basically when I saw Ahmaud Arbery. I went to Atlanta. This is before George. This is right before George because it saddened me. And wow, didn't that just work out? And I've been going ever since, and I can't stop and I won't stop. So I reckon I call myself a general, and I need a lot of generals to follow me. I don't know if we'll ever make it to the promised land, but I sure know that we ain't gonna stop trying until I have no more breath in my body because I want to see every young black man, every young Caucasian man, every young any man to grow up with the allotted time that our Lord and Savior gave us to live and die of natural causes, not somebody's one piece of metal, not somebody's club, not somebody's restraint to take the breath from them. And keep in mind, Miss V, there's more people that die in custody than by stops. Sweetie, there's over 6,000 people that's died this year in police custody. That means in the back of a car,
wow.
in a station, in a prison. It's happening. 7 or 8 people a day die in
How
custody.
many people again, Mr. Sowen? Oh,
Probably 7 or 8 people a day die in custody, whether they're in jail, prison, or any kind of interaction with police officers.
so not only if they shoot you or or just and I try and get people to understand that, because a lot of people say, well, it's not going to happen to me because I didn't do anything wrong. You don't have to do anything wrong. I need you to get that out your mindset that you have to do something wrong to receive this. All you have to do is come in contact with them.
I know a young man that his 2-year-old daughter threw a piece of paper out the window, and they thought it was a crack pipe, and they stopped him, and he did not want to get out of the car to leave his 2-year-old baby in the car. Now his mother is on my team, which the same team that you will be
Uh-huh.
on. Her name is D. Crane out of Fort Worth, Texas. Police officer gets there 30 seconds after he gets on the scene. Doors open. They're trying to talk the dude out. He don't want to come out because he don't want to leave the baby in the car. He jumps over the baby, puts the gun to the back of his head, put 2 in the back of his head.
Wow.
That's D. Crane. And we got qualified immunity taken away from him, so he's got to pay for his
Yes. Yes. That's
crime. He has to pay for his crime. But he killed this boy, and it was over a piece of plastic that was thrown out the window. And because he would not rationalize or listen, and he didn't care. He didn't care. A lot of narcissists' problem is they do not want to negotiate with anything. It's their way how, when, where. And if a narcissist say, hey, you did this, if you combat him, which is the same thing that we've been going through as a race for many, many years, it's called power and control issues. They have to use whatever means possible to make you subservient or kneel to them and bow to them. And if they have a authority or opportunity to squeeze the trigger to shut you up, they just satisfied their obsession of power and control. Did you see the look in Derek Chauvin's eyes when he had his knee on my nephew's neck? Did you see the look in his eyes? He looked like
Yeah, that was crazy, and I didn't get that. Like, how could you continue? It's like almost like he knew what he was doing.
Sweetie,
Like
he'd been doing it.
yeah,
He's been a police officer for 19 years. He's a third-degree black belt. Of course, he knew what he was doing. When he put his hand on his knee, he was putting more pressure on his neck. And all you had to do was watch him roll his knee around my nephew's neck.
jeez.
But other people wanted to say it was what he had in his system. A 210-pound man crushing your carotid artery has
Oh,
nothing to do with what's in your system. It has to do with him suffocating you. My
yeah,
nephew fought so hard that he had rocks in his shoulder and in his chin where he was trying to push up and breathe. He fought like heck. He fought for 9 minutes and 29 seconds, breathing between 2 and 5% air in his body. He literally had rocks in his shoulder and in his chin from the autopsy, trying to live. And when he hollered, Mama, my sister was looking down at him because he knew that there was no more coming back. He knew that after all that suffering he did, he knew that when he called Mama, he saw her, and my sister says, "Come on with me, son, because time's up." And
wow,
at 8:26 and 14 seconds, his eyes fluttered. Time was up. So he went to go visit Mama, his mama, and my mama, and all those other people. And that's sitting up there right now, Miss V, and they're saying, "Boy, that crazy Uncle Selwyn boy won't stop. He
that's
won't
right.
Hey, look at him." I told him one day, talk too much. Well, dear, I got a lot of talking to do. I've just
Yes,
begun. I've just begun. And
yes,
whenever I come in contact with people like yourself, I feel like I gotta say something. I gotta do something. Because what else
yes.
can I do? I live in a town that had a Confederate flag and a Confederate flag on a police patch, on the car, and the building. Now we live north of the Mason-Dixon line. There weren't no wars. And from the day that they found out, and I've been coming around here for 20 years, I own a motel, 4 or 5 houses. So, and for all intents and purposes, I'm okay. I made it. And I went from me being one of the people that the upper echelon people in a neighborhood where, hey, Miles, how you doing? That's my middle name, to being the person that they tried to run out of town. I've got people that wrote F off NIGGR outside of a building that I had to park my car in front of. I had people that say, go back to Africa. I've had people, the police has gotten a warrant. Now, my house is 7,000 square feet. I had a warrant made to come in my house to look for a carton of cigarettes and a 6-pack of Bush Light. I own a motel. And they said that I run a mile to get the cigarettes and a mile to run back. I won't run a mile for nothing besides catfish dinner. Is what I'm telling you. And so I can't go. I can't go into any establishment in town because somebody murdered my nephew. So Miss V, when I tell you I'm at it 24/7, 365, I don't care what they think. I don't care what anyone thinks because all I know is I have an obligation as an uncle, as a man, to make a difference and protect my princesses and prince and my queens and my kings. That's what I got a obligation to do because
Yes.
we haven't had nobody that did a lot in my eyes in the last 45, 50 years. So I got a lot of ground to make up for. So I can only do what I can do, dear. But 24/7, 365, you got to dream, you got to breathe, and then you got to deliver. I'm trying
You
to
got to say it again, Mr. Selwyn. You got to dream. You got to.
dream, you got to breathe, then you deliver.
Amen. Yes, and that's what I want to do. You said that when we were on your radio show the other week, and you said it. You got to dream, you got to believe, and then you got to deliver. And that's what I'm just dreaming that it's going to get better. I'm
Now,
believing that it's going to get better.
now,
I'm knowing that it's going to get better, and I'll deliver it.
yep, now we got to deliver. We got to make it better. We got to do what we can to deliver it. Because guess what, dear? Ain't nobody else going to. The more people that talk about it, they're going to be about it.
Exactly.
I,
Exactly. And everybody want to talk about it, but then they don't want to be about it. It's almost like it's just a show to them instead of the reality of we're losing our lives
sweetie,
by the minute.
everybody wants to get their perspective and their thought process. But how many people you see going to see in North Carolina tomorrow? How many people you going to see in Chicago one day? How many people are you going to see making a difference and saying what needs to be said? Whoops, I can't. I'm afraid.
You're right.
For my
Everyone that's gonna listen and they're gonna wait. I see Meg has gotten kicked off. She had internet connections earlier, but she's gotten kicked off. But I just wanted to reiterate. I thank you so much,
hey,
Miss,
dear
for joining us. Like we
Mama,
need.
you got mine to do now. You got mine to do. We got to come back. We did the radio show. Now we got to flip that podcast on you. So, dear, you have a brother for life with Uncle
Yeah,
Selwyn. So, throughout your battle, you always know that you can reach out to me because I got you, sister. I'm gonna
I
do
thank
whatever I
you.
can,
I
whenever I
thank you.
can. So, hey,
Yeah.
you're gonna. I mean, you're in the house. I've opened the door. You're in the house now. We just need to figure out how that house looks. What seat you got in the house?
Well, I thank you, Mr. Sower, and I wanna be in the house. I'm here for any change, and I want to thank people, and I'll tell the people again that has been listening. I see we got about 80 shares. What I just last checked, so people are gonna listen and they are gonna hear it. And I just want to say to you guys, if you don't take it from me, take it from Uncle Selwyn.
Hey,
Take it from George Floyd, Uncle, that you guys are aware of. If you don't want to hear me, please listen to him.
and hey,
Please.
you can always come setting it straight with Selwyn. As my podcast. And you can always hit me up on Hope 929 because we want to be a beacon of light for those that can't help themselves or are battling through things. So you can always hit me up on Hope 929. A lot of people do. Hope929.org. And I'll always reach out to you to say, what's up? What's happening? How can I help? Is there anything we can do as a foundation, as a person? And Miss V is doing this thing because of love, because of life. Remember, breathe,
Believe and deliver.
dream, breathe, and deliver.
Yes. So I'm going to listen to that, you guys. I want you to listen to that too. I want you to go check out Uncle Selwyn's podcast. Check out his station, Hope 929. And get it from someone that's been out here. Like I said, I'm just here. I don't come and say, hey, you guys, I know anything. The truth is I don't. I'm out here trying to figure it out day by day, but I take inspirations from the Mr. Sowens that are fighting. And you guys know I don't listen to anyone. I already said now anyone can. I don't want anyone coming here. You get what I'm saying? Because I see that anyone has went a lot of places, so I can't connect with anyone. But when you see someone that has a true purpose, has a true passion, I just want to thank you, Mr. Sowen, for coming on. You guys shout out Hope 929.
Thank you,
Go.
Mr. Jones. It was an honor to meet you.
Is this
Yes,
Leslie?
It is. I just hang out in the background and
Leslie,
moderate.
I'm sitting here, I'm seeing you, and I'm like, where's Leslie at? Leslie, say hello.
Hello. It was an honor to hear you talk, and thank you so much for sharing your
Now,
story
is
with
that
us tonight.
Batino?
Sabatino.
Sabatino. Okay, Miss Sabatino, I love that. That isn't that Italian?
It is.
Okay, I'm from the country, so I mess up Italian.
she,
Miss
she
Leslie,
That's Mr. To make it happen.
I appreciate you being on the back end. I appreciate what you do for Miss V and Meg. God bless you, my dear, and hopefully one day I will see you face to face. I always try to make a round to see all the Warriettes. You know,
Absolutely,
because,
sir. That would be amazing. I look forward to it.
Hey, always. God bless you. Love you, girl. Holla at your boy. Everyone out there, keep your head up, eyes to the sky, hearts pure, and let's just try to love each other, make a difference, and respect each other because we're in this thing together, y'all, and we can only accomplish it, make a difference together. Uncle Selwyn is out.
Uncle Sowen is out, you guys. I'm going to let him take us out for tonight, okay? So we thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening to Changing the Narrative, joining us with George Floyd, Uncle Sowen. We are out of here. I'm looking for this outro to get you guys out of here and have a great rest of your night. Don't party too hard. Don't forget, don't make this happen to you in order to matter to you. We love you guys, and we're out.
Tell me how you gonna act like these.
Hello?